This conference will now be recorded.
So for loop examples. So when I'm talking about a for loop, so what was a for loop? So for loop is nothing but a kind of a loop which will be basically working on a collection of elements. Okay, so basically working on a collection of elements. So whenever I'm saying collection of elements, what I'm trying to talk about, I'm trying to talk about list or all the other things. So now we will develop a program to find the maximum and minimum values of the list. So maximum and minimum values of the list. So what we are going to talk about now? So we are going to talk about the maximum and minimum elements of the list. Okay, so we are going to talk about what? Maximum and minimum elements of the list. Okay, so first of all, let me take up a list. Okay, so let me take up a list. So in that list, I will have some elements. Let's say 4 to minus 1, 0. Okay, so I'll have something like 5. Okay, so 5 is the maximum element, and I will say minus 2. Minus 2 is the minimum element. So 5 is the maximum element, and minus 2 is the minimum element. So what should be the output? The output should be max element. So max element should be 5, and min element should be minus 1. Okay, so max element should be 5, and the minimum element should be minus 1. Okay, so max element should be 5, and the minimum element should be minus 1. Okay, so how we are going to uh, work on this particular program? Okay, so first of all, we have to take up for I in LST. So you're taking LST of elements, and you have to go for each and every element. So for example, if I should match it actually. I should match it. So what I'll take is I'll take first minimum value is equal to LST of 0. Okay, so LST of 0, and max value also I'll take something like LST of 0. Okay, so minimum value also uh, 0 I'll take, LST of 0 I'll take, and maximum value also LST of 0 I'll take. Okay, so for I in LST, if I greater than max, okay, so I greater than max, you should write max value is equal to I. Max value is equal to I. Else, or elif I less than mn, so I less than mn, you say mn is equal to I. Okay, so here mx is equal to I and mn is equal to I. So, and finally you print max element. So finally you print max element. So max element is what? So max element is mx. Okay, so max element is mx, and next you take up the minimum element. So minimum element is mn. Okay, so minimum element is mn. So how you are going to get this? Right. So we will try to take up here. So Yeah, this is the output that we want. So simply when I run this, so this is small I basically. So if you are running this, okay, so one second, so I'll make it a little closer, this also. So let me run this. So you are getting max element is 5 and min element is going to be 2. Okay. So how come you are going to get this? Okay. So how you are going to get this? We will try and understand the flow basically. Okay. So we'll try and understand the flow. Now let's take the list of elements. What are the list of elements here? So the list of elements are 4, 2, -1, 0, 5 and -2. Okay, so for LST, so this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Okay, so and this is going to be -1, -2, -3, -4, -5 and -6. Okay, so this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and this is -2 -1 to or I should say -6 to -1. So we are not worried about the negative index, but we are taking up the positive index where Mn is equal to LST of 0. So what is Mn value here? Mn value is going to be 4. So Mx value is going to be 4. So Mn value is going to be 4 and Mx value is also going to be 4. Means we are assuming that 4 is the minimum value and 4 is the maximum value. But later on in the program we will try and get the minimum values. Okay, so for I in LST, so in LST you will have 4, 2, -1, 0, 5 and -2. Okay, so first you take up 4. So 4 for I in LST, so you take up 4. So I value is going to be 4. Okay, so I value is going to be 4. So when I value is 4 here, okay, so when I value is 4 here, so it comes here. So 4 greater than, okay, so mx. So what is mx over here? So mx is going to be 4 only. So 4 greater than 4 is false. False means it comes here. So then again 4 less than 4 is also false. So it will also not go here and then next element. So 4 is over. Next 2. So 2 greater than 4 is false. So 2 greater than 4 is false. So then come here. So 2 less than 4 is true. So 2 less than 4 is true. So as it is true, so what should happen? Mn is equal to I. So what is Mn value? Mn value is actually 4, but now Mn value becomes I. So I means, so 2 value. So the Mn becomes 2 over here. Okay, so Mn becomes 2 over here. Okay. Then again goes. So 2 also is over. So then -1. -1 greater than 4. So it is false. So -1 greater than 4 is false. False means again it comes here. So -1 less than 4. Okay, so -1 less than 4 is true. So -1 less than 4 is true. So true means again it goes here. So Mn value becomes -1. Okay, so -1. Fine. Then again 0 comes to the picture. 0 greater than 4. Okay, 0 is greater than 4 is false. Again you come here. 0 less than what is Mn value? So here, sorry. So this should be 2. Okay, -1 less than 2. So 0 less than -1. So 0 less than -1. So that is also false. Okay, so that is also false. No exchange will take place. So then again it will go to 5. So 5 greater than 4. So 5 greater than 4 is true. True means it will come here. So mx is equal to I. What is mx is equal to I means? I will go into mx. So mx will take up 5. Mx will take up 5. So then -2. So -2. So it will not come here. So this will not be touched. Because if this is false, then only it will go here. If it is true, it won't go here. Then you have max value 5 and you have the I value -2. So -2 greater than 5 is false. So false means it goes and checks here. So -2 less than minus 1. Yes, the answer is correct. So minus 2 is less than minus 1 is correct. So mn is equal to I. So what is mn now? Mn becomes minus 2. Okay. Then the elements are over. As the elements are over, we are coming out of the loop. And what is the maximum element here? So maximum element is mx. So what is the maximum element? So maximum element is mx, and the minimum element is minus 2. Minimum element is minus 2. So in that way, you are going to take up the values. Okay. So you are going to take up the values, and you are taking up the values from the list, and you are asking. So you are asking to get the maximum and the minimum element. Okay, so in that way you are going to get it. Okay, so in that way you are going to get it. So that's how we are trying to get the maximum and the minimum element from the array, or from the list, I should say. Okay, so now we will go into another program. So develop a program for finding whether, so for finding whether a number, so finding whether a number is, okay, so finding whether a number is uh, even or odd from the list. Okay, even or odd from the list. So you are going to find the even or odd from the list. Okay, so let's say the same list. Okay, so let's change a little bit, even or odd. So you are taking one number, and let's going for telling which that is even or odd. Okay, so how you'll do? So you'll simply say, for I in LST. So what is LST over here? LST is going to be this. LST is going to be this. So for I in LST, if I mod 2, so no need to use the uh, so no need to use the index or anything. So you can just say print I comma is even. Okay, so I is even. So something like is even, else. So else. So why I'm giving you this example is, so there is no need of using anything such as so anything such as uh, the indexing or something like that. Okay, right. So then you are saying print I is odd. So simply you are going to get this answer. Okay, so why you are getting even or odd? So because 4 is even, because this is giving you, 4 is giving you true. As it is giving you true, so it is going to be even. If it is giving false, it is going to be odd. So in this way you are going to get the answer for this particular program. Okay, so basically what we are doing here, so we are going for 4 mod 2 equals to 0. So 4 mod 2 equals to 0 is uh, 0. So 0 equals to 0, then it is even number. Okay, next same thing with 2, and if 1 you are getting. So 1 mod 2 equals to 0. So 1 mod 2 basically is how much? So if you are dividing 1, so it is 200, so the answer is going to be 1. So 1 equals to 0 is odd. So like this you are getting even or odd basically. So you are going for the programs. Okay, so you are going for the programs which are going to give you even or odd basically. Okay, right. So now what we are talking about, so we are talking about the programs which are going to work with the for loop. Okay, so we're going to work with the for loop. Okay, next we will talk about the unconditional unconditional statements. Okay, so unconditional statements, the first one is going to be break, and second one is going to be continue, and third one is going to be pass. Okay, so unconditional statements, so these are the unconditional statement that you have. So after this we will talk about more programs, so break, continue, and pass. Okay, so what does a break do here? Okay, so a break, so what does a break do here? So it is going to break the flow of the loop. It is going to break the flow of the loop. Okay, it is going to break the flow of the loop. Okay, so going to break the flow of the loop when a certain condition is met. When a certain condition is met. Okay, so when a certain condition is met, it is going to break. So it is going to break. So break means it will get the control out of the loop. Okay, so control out of the loop. Now for example, if I'm saying while, so for example, if I'm saying I is equal to 0, okay, so I is equal to 0 while I less than or equal to 10. I less than or equal to 10. I will print the I value. I'll print the I value and I will say I is equal to I plus 1. So when I run this, so when I run this code, generally you will get from 1 to 0 to 10. Okay, so I'll just try to get it from 1 to 10. Okay, so 1 to 10, that too I want some horizontal results. So for the horizontal result I can use something like this. Okay, so here you are getting 1 to 10. So for example, now what I'll do is I will say uh, if, okay, so if I is equal to 5, so if I is equal to 5, I will say break. So if I is equal to 5, I will say break. So when I'm saying a break, okay, so what you see over here, you can see only one, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so you can see only 1, 2, 3, and 4. So what you are looking at here, you are looking at 1, 2, 3, and 4. So this is traditional way. And when you are getting a break, so when you're getting a break, so this you understood. So this I is equal to 1. So 1 is equal to 5, no problem. So 2 is equal to 5, no problem. 3 is equal to 5, no problem. So 4 is equal to 5, that too no problem. So when you said 5 is equal to 5, okay, so when you said 5 is equal to 5, you have a break. So break means the control will be out of the loop. So control will be out of the loop. So only printing 1, 2, 3, 4. So only printing 1, 2, 3, 4. So what it is doing? It is only printing 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So what exactly happened over here? So it is only printing 1, 2, 3, 4. So but now suppose if you are writing continue over here. Okay. So let me. Okay. So I'll use the continue on the for loop. That would be better. So if I am saying for I in, okay, so first a range of 1 comma 11. Okay, so for I in range 1 comma 11, so I will say print of I when I'm saying print of I, so what you are getting? You are getting end is equal to, so you are getting end is equal to something like this. Okay, now what I'll do is I'll just say if I is equal to 5. So I is equal to 5, I will say continue. If I is equal to 5, I will say continue. So what happened here? You can see that the 5 value got skipped. So 5 value got skipped. So what exactly is continue? I'll tell you. So whenever I'm talking about continue here, so continue means it will skip the condition, it will skip the specified condition, will skip the specified condition and continue with the next execution. So continue with the next execution. So it will skip the current flow, it will skip the current flow and continue with the next execution. Okay, so it will skip the specified condition and continue with the next flow. Okay, so continue with the next flow. Okay, so when you are trying to look at, okay, so when you're trying to look at the continue, so what continue will do, so continue, so it will go for 1 2 3 4 5. So when you are getting 5 is equal to 5, instead of going to the next statement, so it will go here, it will continue. So this will be skipped basically, so this will be skipped. So that is the rule of continue here. So that is the rule of continue. So then going for the pass. So what does a pass say here? So pass, it will not do anything. It just bypasses the control. It just bypasses the control. So it will not do anything. It will just bypasses the control. So there is no real use of it right now, but later on we will see the correct use of it. So it will just bypass the control. That's it. Okay. So now, for example, if we are saying here, so if we are saying pass, so it will not do anything basically. So if I is equal to, so it is like normal execution only. So it will just do nothing. Okay, so simply it will give you everything. So simply it will give everything. So it will not do any kind of uh, uh, continuing or anything as such. So it is just for the sake of just bypassing the control. Okay, so just bypassing the control. It won't do anything. Okay, it won't do anything. It just bypasses the control basically. Okay, so that's how you are going to take up the things into the uh, pass. So what is pass here? So pass is just to uh, pass the control. So pass is just to use pass the control. Okay, so it won't do anything. But what is the use and all? We will try to understand later. Okay, right. So now develop a program to check whether the given number is prime or not. So that the given number is prime or not. So we are going to uh, check whether the given number is prime or not. So now, for example, if I have a number something like n is equal to 5, okay, so n is equal to 5, so you have to say that this is a prime number. If somebody is giving me a number n is equal to 8 or n is equal to 9, so you have to say it as a non-prime number, as a non-prime number. So n is equal to 5 is a prime number n is equal to 9 is a non-prime number. So how you are going to write it? So first we'll try to understand the prime number logic. So 5, or what is a prime number first of all? So prime number is a number which is divisible by 1 and itself only. 1 and itself only. So now 5. So 5 we don't have, uh, so we don't have any other factors other than 1 and 5. So 1, I mean 5 is divisible by 1. 5 is divisible by 2. No. So 5 is divisible by 1. So 5 is divisible by 3. No. 5 is divisible by 4. No. 5 is divisible by 5. Yes. So every number is divisible by 1 and itself. So that is why we can ignore these two. 1 and itself we can ignore. Suppose now 9 is there. So 9 we will go for 2. It is not divisible. So 9, if we are saying with 3, it is divisible. So divisible means it is going to give you 0. So it is divisible. So we can say 9 is a non-prime number. Non-prime number, and 5 is a prime number. So how we'll write this logic? Now, as always, take a number from the input. Okay, so let's take n is equal to int of input of enter a number. Int of input of enter a number. Okay, so n is equal to int of input of enter a number. So now you have to go for I in range. So you have to check for divisibility from 2 to n. So you should not involve that n value. You should not involve that n value, and you should have from 2. Okay. Now you have to check if n mod I equals to 0. If n mod I equals to 0, okay, so if n mod I equals to 0, so you put p is equal to 1. So take some value, p is equal to 0. So make it p is equal to 1 and write a break. So because if one number is dividing, that is more than enough for me. So then I can say it is a prime number. Okay. Now come out of the logic. And now if you say p is equal to 1, you can print, so you can print something like the number. So what is the number here? So number is going to be non-prime. Number is going to be non-prime. Otherwise number is going to be prime. Okay, so otherwise in the sense if, or else I'll write if p is equal to 0. So when will be p 0? P will be 0 when it is not divisible by any of the number. Okay, so when it is not divisible by any of the number, it will be 0. Okay, so let me run this. So enter a number 5. So you get it as a prime number. You get it as a prime number. So once you run this, suppose you say 9 here. So 9 is a non-prime. Now let's understand how the things happen over here. Okay. So let me take this and explain you the program once again. So here you are taking a number. Okay. So first number you take n as 5. Okay. So and you took p as 0. So for I in range 2 comma n. So 2 comma n in the sense basically 2 comma 5. So 2, 3, 4. Okay, so 2, 3, 4. Not even 5 will be taken here. Okay, so not even 5. So then you come inside. So then n I is equal to 0. So if this is equal to 0, so now 5 mod 2 equals to 0. No. So 5 mod 2 equals to 0 is not right because 2 to is 4, so 1 will be the remainder. Okay. So it is not equal to 0, so it won't be making p as 1. So then it will check with 3 is equal to 0. No. So 5 mod 4 is equal to 0. This also no. No means it won't do it won't do p as 1. Okay, so then you come out. P is equal to 1. So what is p value? P value is still 0. 0 is equal to 1 is false. Then it will come here. So 0 equals to 0. 0 equals to 0 is true. So true means it will come here. And what is n value? N value is going to be 5. So 5 is going to be the prime value. So 5 is going to be the prime value. So prime, so you are getting that. So now n is going to be 9. Next case, n is going to be 9, and it will take up from and 8. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so now n mod, so n is uh, 9. Okay, so 9 mod 2 equals to 0. So 9 mod 2 equals to 0 is false. Then 9 mod 3 equals to 0 is true. So true means p value becomes 1 and it breaks. Okay, so break means come out of the if, I mean come out of the for. So you came out of the for, and what happens here? P is equal to 1 means so p is nothing but 1. So 1 equal to 1 is true. So true means you come here, and 9 is non-prime. So 9 is non-prime. So in that way you are looking at, the prime and the non-prime values. So that is how the break works for you. Okay, so that is how the break works. So whenever you look at the break, so this is the way that the break will also work. Okay, then when you are looking at uh, the program, so this is the way that we are. Okay, so now whenever we are looking at it, so you are going to get this in. Okay, now develop a program to check. Okay, so develop a program to check a list of numbers. Okay, so list of numbers to be prime or not. Okay, so list of numbers to be prime or not. Okay, so list of numbers to be prime or not. So now for example, I have this list. Okay, so let's say uh, right. So list of numbers which are prime or not. So let me go for the same list which I went for here. So you have to take up each and every number. So you take up each and every number and check whether each one is prime or not. So this list we will take, and we will talk about the numbers being prime or not. So I will just try to uh, take up one, and I will replace it by 7. So now first of all you need to go into the list. So for I in LST, and so what you need to do is, so this I is each and every number. Okay, so I is each and every number. Okay, so what is this I now? I is each and every number, and what you have to do is you have to say for uh, j in. Okay, so you have to say for j in range Okay, so for j in range 2 comma I. Okay, so for j in range 2 comma I. So for j in range 2 comma I. Okay, so here I will say something like 9. Okay, so j in range 2 comma I. So 2 comma I. Then you say the same thing. P is equal to 1. Okay, so when P is equal to 1, if j mod 2 equals to 0. Okay, so j mod 2 equals to 0, you say P is equal to 1, and P should be 1 for each and every number. Okay, so each and every number, so that is why you make P is equal to 0 over here, and you will say a break. So you give a break. So what happens now? So let's uh, go for, if P is equal to 0, okay, P is equal to 1 rather, P is equal to 1. So what we can say here? We can say print which value, sir? So I value basically. So I value is going to be, I value is going to be non-prime. So I value is going to be non-prime. Okay. So if p is equal to 0, so I will get print. Okay, so print j is equal to, okay, so I is equal to, sorry, I is equal to prime. So what I've done it here, so I have, okay, so you can see here, so one second, uh, oh sorry, j mod I mod j, sorry, I mod j, so I mod j, I should say. Okay, so 4 is non-prime, 2 is prime, 7 is prime, 3 is prime, 5 is prime, and this is non-prime. So how this will happen? Okay, let me explain. Now first you are taking up, so what you're taking up here, so you are taking up a list. So you're taking up a list. So what is this list basically? So this list is going to be 427359. Okay, so 427359. So I value is going to be 4 first. So I value is going to be 4. So then you come here, so p value becomes 0. So then you go here, so for j in range of 2 comma I. So 2 comma I means 2 and 3. So now 4 is multiplied by 2. So 4 is multiplied by 2 in the sense you will get a 0. So 0 means p value becomes 1. So p value becomes 1. So p value becomes 1 break. If p is equal to 1, 4 is non-prime. So you are printing that. Okay. So then again next round. So in the next round what will happen? I value will be taken as 2. So p value will be again 0. So p value will be again 0. Okay, so j in range. So what is j now? 2 comma I means, so it is only 2. So it is only 2. So range of 2 comma I in the sense, so you will have only 2 comma 2. 2 is exclusive, so you will have only uh, first value. Okay, so now you are saying 2 comma I means, so 2 comma 2 means it won't travel at all. So as it won't travel at all, so p value becomes 0. Okay, so now for example, I will just give you the idea. Now if I am saying range of 2 comma 2, so if I say range of 2 comma 2, so it won't even travel. Okay, so it won't even travel. So that's what the point. So list of range of 2 comma 2, it won't even travel. Okay, so that is what the point. So that is why you are not getting any value. As you are not getting any value, the value of p will be 0. The value of p will be 0 only. Okay, so that is why 2 is prime. Okay, when you are getting 7, so I value becomes 7, p value becomes 0. So now range of 2 comma 7, so 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So 7 mod, okay, so 7 mod 2, 7 mod 2 is false. 7 mod 2 is equal to 0, false, all false. So it will be, so it will be I mean the p value will be 0 only. P value will be 0. As p value is 0, so if no value is giving you true, your p value stays 0 only. Your p value stays 0 only. So this is the way so that you are getting all of them are prime. So 2 is prime, 7 is prime, 3 is prime, because they won't get any values as factors. Okay, they won't get values as factors. So that is why you are getting uh, all of them prime. So when you are getting to 9, so 9 0. So when you are getting to 9 0, so it is 2 3 4 5 6 7 and 8. With 2 it won't be dividing, but with 3 it is dividing. So when 3 it is getting divided, the p value becomes 1. Okay, p value becomes 1 and break. So 1 is equal to 1, so it is non-prime. So in that way, you are going to check the values of the list to be prime or not. So this concept is also known as nested loops. Okay, so nested loops, where you say a loop inside another loop. So a loop inside another loop. So you have a loop inside another loop. So that is what is called a nested loop basically. So whenever I say nested loop, a loop inside another loop. Okay. So in that way, you are looking at the for loop problems. Okay. So for loop problems. So whenever I'm talking about the for loop, so these are the ways that which we can solve the for loop problems. Okay, so for loop, so in a loop inside another loop. Okay, so you can have them. Okay, so you can work with a normal for loop in this way. So you can work with continue. uh, we can use break. Okay, so for stopping the flow. Okay, so these are the examples of the for loop. So in the next session we will be talking about the concept of functions. Okay, so we'll be talking about the concept of functions. So in the functions we will again be using these loops, while loops, for loops again for some more programs. Okay, so we'll talk about functions in our Monday session. Okay, so hope you understood. So if you have any doubts, any questions, you can ask me. Trivikram, Nagaraj, you can ask me anything if you want.